Hey guys, I told you guys that I would um, start coming on and doing some voice videos for you guys. I just been dealing with my own issues lately. I think everybody is at this point, with the way this world is going. Um, you know, these price hikes, these gas prices, I mean, everything is just like plummeting higher while there's less money being passed around. So, plus I've been sick for the past month. Um, so it's like every time I think I'm gonna get better, I still feel like shit. So that definitely does not help. And, I've been pumping myself full of vitamin C and zinc and everything for your immune system and you name it, you know, natural wise, I've been taking for the last month. And I don't know. It just seems to be like it's just not going away. And I got like this wheezing in my chest that, doesn't want to go away. And dry cough and my sense of taste and smell has been off, and it's like it's coming back, but it's coming back really slow. And it's like I didn't realize I couldn't smell or taste until I guess it was coming back, because I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I couldn't smell any incense I was burning. I couldn't, like, taste anything I was eating. And I'm just like, and then it started coming back little by little. And then I realized that I had lost it completely that whole time. It's just ridiculous. And I've been quarantined in the house for the last month, too. I'm not, you know, what else are you gonna do if you have COVID? I mean, it's not like a test saying you're positive is gonna cure you. So I just figured I'd just pump myself full of fucking vitamin C and zinc and just stay away from everybody. It's about really all you can do. And I obviously, the vaccine is not 100%. None of them are. So, I mean, I think everybody's going to get it eventually. And that's what it was, that's what it was generated to do. Eventually hit everybody. It's just, I don't want to say it's luck, but I feel like it's like gambling, Some people are going to get it and get over it. Some people are going to get it and never be the same as far as their body goes. Something's always going to be off. Like, that's how I feel. I feel like my wheezing and all of that is just not going to go away. I think that's like something, whenever your lungs get affected by anything, I just feel like your lungs are never the same. And like, that's where I'm at right now. So I've been really wanting to make videos. I just been feeling like shit, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. I just been feeling like total shit. And so much shit is going on, and it's like Everybody's covering it. Everybody's talking about it. It's just like, you know, I usually like to bring you guys things that aren't, you know, mainstream being discussed. But it's like everything is just like 1,000 people are talking about the same shit. So, and, you know, so many new YouTubers, getting all these followings just because they're talking about, you know, Gabby Petito and Brain Laundrie and, you know, like, come on, man. I don't want to talk about things just because I want more followers. I want to talk about things because I think that they're important and that, you know, my outlook or the way I'm going to break it down may be different than the next person's. So what I really want to talk about, and I'm going to call it my Brain Laundrie conspiracy, okay? Because at this point, it could be fact or fiction. With all the information that's been provided, you know, to me, it's like, okay, well, either this is spot on and this is what's going on, or it's just a conspiracy theory that I've come up with. Because I always question everything and I always overanalyze everything. I can't just, you know, take what's being said as, you know, concrete truth. So I always got to go that extra mile. So I want to start with, you know, the very beginning. You know, I have no doubts that he obviously killed Gabby. I have no doubts that he was abusing her for some time, and, you know, he was just so good at hiding it and, you know, showing that funny-go-lucky side to everybody else, but she's seen that evil narcissist, you know, piece of shit side, probably early on, you know, and she didn't want to, I don't think she wanted to face the fact that this wasn't her knight in shining armor. You know, who wants to admit that? You know what I mean? Nobody wants to admit that. Everybody wants to be right about a person. We don't want that person to be, you know, a piece of shit. But, you know, it happens. And it takes some of us longer, you know, to realize it and walk away. And in this case, I think she realized it, but obviously she didn't walk away soon enough, or she walked away and that's what made him flip out. I mean, who knows? You know, she might have said, I had enough. I'm going home. You know, you want to be an asshole by yourself. And, you know, that could have pushed him over the edge too. As soon as these men lose control, you know, they flip. So that could be a theory, you know, that she had just had it and wasn't dealing with his shit no more. And I still don't, and I don't think anybody understands how this man drove her van back to Florida and his parents just automatically shut down. He shut down, got a real estate lawyer to become a criminal lawyer, and, you know, didn't even care. You know what I mean? Didn't even remotely show any type of emotion that Gabby at that point was missing. I mean, how do you come home without the woman you've been living with for the past 2 years and nobody gives a shit? Like, where is she? What's going on? You know what I mean? Like, I don't, I'll never understand that. And quite honestly, I think it was fully discussed. And that's why it was shut down from the very beginning. Plead the fifth, get a lawyer, that's it. End of discussion. Because they all knew. You know what I'm saying? They all knew what he did. And they all knew, you know, these issues were going on because remember, the last 2 years she was living with his family. So it was very easy for her to hide it from her family. You know, he wasn't going to act like that in front of her father, you know, or her family. He had to keep up appearances. So I'm more than 100% sure that Brain Laundrie's parents heard, you know, fights and arguments and, you know, knew their son was this fucking piece of shit narcissist. And, you know, maybe it didn't come as a surprise when he came home by himself, you know. But who comes home alone and gets this information and then decides, oh, we're going to go on a camping trip? Don't you think he had enough camping? Like, I think this dude had enough camping, you know, for at least the next 5 years to then go camping as soon as he gets home. And they never discuss where the van is. I haven't heard shit about the van. I haven't heard shit about any forensics being found, any DNA being found, any evidence being found in this van. He drove home in it. Where is it? Like, the FBI hasn't even brought that shit up. Where's this van? Okay? And what have they found in this van? Or what have they not found in this van? I mean, there's so much videos of what was in it. I mean, obviously, they can watch it and see if that stuff was there, if that stuff was missing, what, you know, like, if there was anything suspicious in there, if it looked different than it did in the videos. What's going on with that? I haven't heard shit about that. But they were so interested in the Mustang for whatever reason. I mean, dude, what was he in the Mustang? A day? If that? He was in that van for months. So I would think that that would be the most important thing for them to concentrate on, being that they were both in that van. So, like, where is it? Where is all the analysis from that? Where are all the crime scene photos from that? Okay? I'm curious to know. Then we got, oh, okay, he's a missing person. He disappeared. We couldn't stop him from leaving the house. Get the fuck out of here. Like, excuse me. Right there, I'm sorry, right there to me, I'm like, these people are full of shit. Like, I can't deal with, like, this bullshit that's going on. You know what I mean? And then they want to put this big search on, and they want to search all these places, and then nobody finds shit, you know? How many times did they walk past that same spot? Okay? And I don't give a fuck if there was 2 feet of water on the floor or not. If there was a waterproof backpack, that shit was fucking floating, okay? And it would have been seen. It would have been smelled by these dogs. Somebody would have seen this shit, okay? You can't be that close to something and nobody see it. That's a crock of shit. I don't care what anybody says. Then the parents just so happen to be in the reserve. And oh my God, here goes the bag. And here goes the skeletal remains. And they're just touching it and picking it up. And just, like they're part of the FBI. And nobody in law enforcement found that too much of a coincidence. Come on. They're going through this place supposedly combing this shit like Spaceballs with a comb, okay? And they don't find shit, but the day the laundries are there, this backpack and his skeletal remains are found. I'm sorry. You have to be a dumb fuck to believe that shit. Like, I'm not buying it. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if they say that the odontologist, made a positive ID with his teeth and it's definitely Brain Laundrie. And the odontologist being his uncle, don't you think that's a little bit of a conflict of interest there? How did the uncle even get on the case? You're not supposed to have family members on an investigation. It's a conflict of interest. How can you take what he said? I don't give a shit. People are saying, "Oh, why would he put his career and his background and all this stuff, his reputation on the line, to lie and say that it was Brian?" Why? Okay, I'll tell you why. Because people are crooked, okay? People are full of shit. And there are, dirty ass law enforcement. I'm not saying everybody in law enforcement is dirty. I'm not saying everybody in the FBI is dirty. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there are a few bad apples. There are a few people, that will lie, that will plant evidence, that will do all this shit. So I'm sorry if I can't take, the word of his uncle when they're saying this is definitely Brain Laundrie. Okay. How do I know the parents didn't leave that evidence there? Okay? How do I know the parents didn't bring the evidence with them? There's no pictures of the parents before they found this stuff. There's only pictures of the parents after they found the stuff. And why in the hell were they allowed to be there during a criminal investigation? And I don't care. People want to say, oh, it wasn't a criminal investigation. It was a missing persons, blah, blah, blah. They could call it whatever they want. To me, it was a criminal investigation, okay? They were looking for this man because they needed to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he killed Gabby, period. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Missing person, my ass. Okay? I still believe he's a missing person. I think the FBI is just so fucking embarrassed that they couldn't fucking catch, okay, a 23-year-old that, yeah, maybe they would plant fucking evidence. Maybe they would make a deal with the parents. Maybe they will do this and that and the other thing. While this nigga's sipping fucking tequila in Mexico somewhere. Like, come on, man. How many times has law enforcement dropped the fucking ball and then they want to cover it up and act like that didn't happen? Oh, they didn't drop the ball. No, they did everything they were supposed to do. Oh, yeah. Brain Laundrie's parents are like the greatest people ever. I'm sorry. That's just like too coincidental, too fucking convenient. I can't believe it. Sorry. I can't believe it. And I'm not going to believe it. I'm not going to believe it. Now they're studying the bones. Okay. Now, they didn't say how many bones they found. They didn't say nothing. They said bone fragment. Okay. That could be the size of a fucking quarter for all I know. I don't know what the fuck they found. They won't say. Now we have a bone expert looking at this fragment of bone, okay? And we have to wait on that. Okay. Great. But we're supposed to believe that his parents just so happened to be there when they found all this stuff. And they're the ones that found it. Okay? Law enforcement didn't find it. The dogs didn't find it. Everybody was searching, didn't find it. Okay. Great. It's too fishy. It's just too outlandish for me. It's too much bullshit for me to sit here and say indefinitely that this little piece of bone fragment or whatever the fuck they found in this piece of shit is him. And listen, we could agree to disagree, but you don't got enough at this point in time to show me, okay, and prove to me that's actually him. Okay? Sorry. Not enough. Not enough for me. Not enough for me. Then with these other two women who got shot, and then in Wyoming, and then all of a sudden this gun is found tied down to a rock 75 miles away from where Brian and his parents, it was thrown in the water or whatever, and supposedly it traveled 75 miles away from where they were camping. And now they have to try to do the forensics on this gun that's been underwater for who knows how long, and see if it's the same gun that killed these two women in Wyoming. That Gabby and Brian were arguing in front of one of these women's jobs. And, I mean, come on. How many coincidences? How much shit are you going to sit there and listen to and not put these pieces together? Like, I mean, are they even going to, like, try to see if this gun is the same gun that killed these two women in Wyoming? Or are they just going to be like, oh yeah, we found a gun tied down to a rock But yeah, it has nothing to do with what's going on over there. So, like, you know, we don't need to do all this kind of fucking investigation on it, you know, all this forensics and fucking see if there's any DNA left on it or anything like that, because it just, you know, it couldn't possibly, you know, it couldn't possibly be tied, you know, to these murders in Wyoming where they just so happen to be. I just think it's so ridiculous, okay? And I just think it's ridiculous for the family of Gabby that has to be put through this, okay? And has to sit there and listen to this stupidity. Listen to this dumbass lawyer who keeps spilling shit out and then trying to twist it and say, oh, I didn't say that. Oh, that's not how I said it. Or, I mean, dude, how in the hell do you go from being a real estate lawyer to a criminal defense attorney? I've been the Laundrie's lawyer for the past 20 years. Okay, what did they need a lawyer for within the last 20 years? How many times did they need a lawyer for real estate? Like, has anybody ever looked into that? How many times did they require, okay, this lawyer's assistance over the last 20 years? Has there been anything said about that? Because, I mean, how many times would you need Bertolino's assistance in real estate? Like, were the Laundries buying real estate, like, you know, every day, where they needed this guy to be there to make sure everything was running smoothly? I mean, you know, he's not the brightest fucking crayon in the box. So I'm not sure, you know, why they would retain him for a criminal defense attorney instead of getting a real criminal defense attorney who knows how to handle these types of situations. Okay? Like, who's gonna do these interviews and know what to say and know what not to say and not make him look like a complete fucking jackass? Like, it's like, yeah, I have no words for the shit that's been going on. Like, it just boggles my mind, people. It really does. It boggles my mind as to how all this shit could be happening, right? And then everybody's so quick to be like, oh, I'm glad they found Brian, so there's closure for Gabby's parents. There'll never be closure for Gabby's parents, okay? There'll never be closure, okay? No, there's never going to be closure. They can't speak to him and find out what really happened. The parents aren't talking. Nobody's talking. So they ought to just sit there, okay, and listen to this fucking douchebag talk and do fucking interviews and say one thing and then go back on it because he knows he fucked up. Okay? They don't know what the hell's going on. They don't know what the hell's going on. Okay? And then they're saying, oh, well, they can't press charges on anybody, and of course, obviously they can't press charges on a dead man, so like nobody's gonna pay for the murder of Gabby Petito because he's dead now. So who else is there to blame? Okay, well, we could blame anybody who knew, basically. We can blame anyone who knew of the incident. So I'm hoping that at some point they get some type of evidence. Okay? Nobody was talking on their phone all this time. Nobody was making phone calls. Nobody was sending text messages. Nobody was communicating with each other. There's no way to catch these pricks and say that they knew what happened. Because that's aiding and abetting, okay? And that makes you an accessory to murder when you know somebody killed somebody else and you don't say shit. Oh, it's their Fifth Amendment right if they don't want to talk. That's great. That's why you gotta find evidence and prove the fact that they knew. Okay? That their son killed Gabby Petito. Fifth Amendment or not, if they have solid proof that these people knew what happened, they have to be held accountable for that. I'm sorry. And if not, that proves my theory of complete and utter fucking bullshit. Somebody's being paid off. Somebody's fucking dirty. Somebody's crooked. Several people are crooked. They set fucking evidence. They did some shit. I don't know. Okay? The cameras weren't on 24/7. Okay? Money talks, bullshit walks. Then I'm hearing that Gabby was a sacrifice. Somebody mentioned something about them being sacrifices. That this family is heavily connected to the Freemasons, and law enforcement just happens to be, majority of them, Freemasons, and all this other conspiracy shit going on. And I'm sitting here like, at this point, I am not going to X anything out. Okay? No matter how outlandish, no matter how fucking crazy it sounds, I am not counting shit out at this point. I am keeping my mind fully opened to possibilities when it comes to this case. There's too many little things, okay, that don't add up. There's too many coincidences. I don't believe in coincidences, okay? When there's too many on the same subject, okay, they're not coincidences. So, as far as I'm concerned, like I said, I'm keeping myself pretty fucking open to different theories, different opinions, different thoughts on this subject. Because it's been drawn out way too long, okay? It's been too suspicious. Then we got this family that just so happened to be driving by in the same exact location, and boom, there's the van. And now this family is getting all this fucking media attention for finding Gabby's fucking van. And, like, what kind of a coincidence is that? Oh, yeah, we heard it, and, you know, we just so happen to be in the same area, and then all of a sudden, they find the van. And these people are American heroes for finding the van, because if not, they might have never found Gabby. Do I believe that if they never found the van, that they never would have found Gabby? No. No. I believe that either somebody else would have stumbled over that while being there, or the searchers would have stumbled over it. I don't think that these people finding her was the only possible scenario to finding her body. Okay? So that's another little thing that makes me, oh, you just so happen to be driving down that road, you know, driving down that exact road, and boom, there's the van. The night before, there just happened to be this creepy man around the campsite that people were uncomfortable with. You know, the cops put Gabby in a van alone and put Brian up in a hotel. Don't you think it should have been the opposite way around? Don't you think Gabby should have been in the hotel behind a locked door? Not this piece of shit? How do we know the piece of shit didn't leave the hotel at some point? Do we have any video of the hotel surveillance of the front desk, of him checking in, him leaving at any point, him checking out, having any visitors, making any phone calls from that hotel room? Do we have any of that information? No. Where are all the phone records? Where are all the phone records from this entire trip they took? Where are all the text messages? Can somebody explain that to me? Where is all this information? Doesn't sit right. Doesn't sit right. Sorry, doesn't sit right with me. And what I'm saying, you know, might hurt your sensibilities, but I gotta put it out there. I don't think the man needed the hotel room. I think the female needed the hotel room to lock herself behind a door. I think we need video footage from every one of these places, besides just body cam footage from the cop situation. I want to see video footage from this hotel. I want to know if he made any phone calls. I want the phone fucking records from the entire time that they were traveling. I want the fucking phone records from the parents' house. Why did he have to get a new phone when he got back to Florida? Where was his phone? Where was his phone? And why would you get a new phone and then leave it behind when you're going to blow off some steam for a couple of days. I don't see why you would get a brand new phone and then leave it behind, but yet take your stupid notebook with you when you could voice message your phone with everything you need to say or whatever you're thinking. Like, there's just so many different things that just don't add up. Okay? And I don't care if an odontologist looked at the teeth and confirmed it was Brain Laundrie. I don't give a fuck. Okay? That's not enough evidence for me. They said they found a bone fragment. They didn't say they found a skull with teeth. They didn't say if it was just one tooth that they found, that this is considered a bone fragment. I don't know what the fuck they found. But you know what? If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck. Okay? So, as far as I'm concerned, like I said, I'm keeping myself open to different scenarios because the shit don't make no sense. Doesn't make any sense. I have no desire to believe anything that this douchebag lawyer has to say, anything that the FBI has to say, anything that the supposable coroner's office and odontologists and all this other fucks have to say, because I have yet to see this bone fragment. Okay? I have yet to see phone records. I have yet to see video footage. I have yet to see the shit that goes into an investigation. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying what they're selling me. Sorry. A little out of my price range. Then you got the other thing that baffles me about the whole situation is the medical examiner in Wyoming, right? He couldn't say nothing. He couldn't explain nothing under law, but he kept on throwing information out. Then he gets fired and arrested. So now, this medical examiner that dealt with Gabby's body gets arrested and fired. For what? For leaking information? Or for another reason? Because I didn't get any information on that either. Why was this man arrested and fired? I mean, beside the fact that he looked like he didn't know shit. Okay? I probably could have did a better autopsy. But beside that fact, why was he fired and arrested? Don't you find that a little fucking fishy? Why is everybody involved in this fucking scenario just straight up crooked in some way, shape, or form? Then we got rumors that he's in an underground bunker on the Laundrie's property. That's another one roaming around. That he never even left the property, that he's been underground this whole time. Like, where are these people getting this fucking information from? Right? Because remember, a rumor is a rumor, yes. But it had to start with a statement. You can't just make shit like that up. It's got to come from a statement. Somebody had to say something. They had to find something. Somebody had to see something for this rumor to start. So, what's up with that one? And like I said, not closing off myself to any kind of information when it comes to this case. I'm keeping myself open, like I said, because there's just too much that doesn't add up. Okay? And when 2 plus 2 equals 6, I gotta wonder, okay, what the fuck's going on? What are people hiding? What's being hidden? What's not being said? What's not being done? Okay? How much shit did the coroner in Wyoming fuck up on? Okay? The Petito family didn't have their own private autopsy done. They were going to cremate her. I think they cremated her out in Wyoming and just took the ashes home. So now, nothing could ever be looked at again unless they save some samples. You know, but that fucking medical examiner looked like he had no brain in his head, so I'm not sure how much samples of whatever they got he did, if he did any at all, to keep for future reference in case something pops up and they need this forensics. Okay, because once somebody's cremated, well, there goes that fucking idea. You know, and then the Laundrie family is saying that they're going to do the same thing. They're going to cremate him because supposedly there's not enough, obviously, to have, you know, to them to have a funeral. But then again, I mean, you need something left over for later on in case something else pops up and this body's cremated or these fragments are cremated and you can't get no fucking information at a later date. You know, I have nothing against cremation, but when it comes to a criminal case, I feel like whatever bones they had should be kept intact just in case they may need this at a later time. That's it. Just my outlook on it. You know, you never know. You know, look at how many cases 20 years, 30 years, 50 years later have been solved, have been figured out. Things have been figured out because of, you know, them getting new technology, them learning more availability as far as forensic goes. Once you're cremated, that's bye. You know what I mean? Come on. like I said, I think we should all keep an open mind about this, and I think we should all really pay attention. If you're following the story, I mean, I don't know anybody who's not following the story in the true crime community, but if you are following it, I definitely suggest, okay, don't make any definite conclusions in your mind or any definite what's the word I'm looking for? Any definite, God, my brain is just not functioning right now. Don't make any definite decisions on what happened, okay? Don't make any definite, opinions in your mind as to what happened or what's going on, what they found, what they didn't find. I think we all need to keep an open mind right now because there's just so much unanswered and there's so much evidence that has yet to be presented. It's the whole, to me, the whole investigation is half-ass. And when something's half-assed, if there's one little thing half-assed, we don't know how much more of it is half-assed. And if one thing is bullshit, we don't know how much of it is bullshit. So we got to kind of stay neutral, and see if anything else pops up that we can add to this puzzle of nonsense. Okay? Like I said, I got to keep myself open for this. I every day, I listen to everything that's being presented. I listen to every newscast, every YouTuber, every bit of information I can get my hands on a daily basis as far as this case is concerned. I listen to everything. Even if it sounds nuts, I'm listening to everything. And I'm keeping it stored in my mind. Just so that I have all this to fall back on at a later date. Because I think right now, we don't have enough to make a definite decision for ourselves. So, I just want everybody try and keep an open mind. Try to listen to as much information and different people. Not the same YouTuber over and over again. Not the same news channel over and over again. Check out all the sources. Okay? Check out all the information. Write it down. Something jumps out at you, write it down. Make a mental note. Once you do that, and you start looking at it all as a whole, all this little tidbit information here and there, people's ideas, little rumors here and there, then look at it. Then look at it with an open mind. And see if you see anything that maybe you didn't see before. And maybe, possibly, if we can all do that, we can help each other understand or figure it out. Because remember, there's rotten apples in any profession, okay? I don't care what you do. We got priests raping little kids, since the beginning of time. Bastards is still denying that shit. Just an example. Okay? These are people that are trusted. These are people that other people go to for guidance, for help. Just like law enforcement. But for spiritual guidance. Look how crooked. Look how crooked that is. Okay? That's just a little example for you guys to understand where I'm coming from. And I really just wanted to get that off my chest because I've been putting so much shit together and just paying attention to everything, not just one thing, and just leaving myself neutral because there's a lot of shit that don't add up. And I'm not gonna just wave my hand and say, okay, yeah, they found him, alright, it's over, end the discussion, I'm good. That's too easy. So, just curious to see what you guys think about what I've said. And if you've thought about anything in that context, if you've noticed anything yourselves that maybe I didn't, that you can, bring to the table and help me out, as to give me some more information to put with the rest of it. Leave your thoughts, comments, below. No hate, please. No bullying. No negativity. There's a positive vibe zone. If you don't agree, that's perfectly fine. I respect everybody's outlook, everybody's opinions. And I expect mine to be respected in return. So let's keep this classy, keep this mature. Please, if you're going to leave a message, don't come out your face because I'm just going to delete it. I'm not even going to entertain it. It's just not necessary. This is what YouTube is for us to throw ideas back and forth, for us to figure things out, for us to, have a platform to express ourselves, share our ideas, no matter how outlandish they might be. So please be respectful when leaving a comment. If you do comment, I am going to start doing some live streams, maybe once a week. I don't know how any of this new super chat stuff is, and, the donation thing. I don't know how any of this stuff works, because the last time I was doing live streams, we didn't have none of that. I will link my Cash App below if anybody wants to donate. I'm gonna put that toward some equipment, like a ring light and stuff for me to do live stream, and a background, so it can look, professional and all of that. So any donations that you guys make, to my channel, that's what I'll be using it for, until I get all that stuff that I need to do my lives, in a good presentation, and for it not to be all over the place. So, if you feel like donating, the Cash App will be below, and my email will also be posted. If you have any questions or information or anything you want to share with me, feel free to email me, and I'll be back shortly with another one of my thoughts, another one of my rants on either the subject or something else. There's a couple of things I want to do some updates on, but I wanted to hit on this while it was still fresh in my mind. So thank you all you guys who are still following me. Thanks everybody who's been so patient while I've been MIA. And stay safe, everybody. I really appreciate you guys, and I really hope that we can build my channel into something great, because like I said, every YouTuber has their own way of expressing themselves, has their own ideas, and has their own stuff to bring to the table. And I think that my way of thinking is definitely a little bit different than most YouTubers. So if you want to help build my channel, that would be great. Like I said, any donations made to my Cash App is going to go to equipment for my live streams, and for me to make live videos, instead of me just doing voice, while giving you, all this information. So thank you guys for listening, and I 100% appreciate you guys. Till the next time, peace. Hey guys, I told you guys that I would start coming on and doing some